This guy lost over 20 kilos of fat and got to 10% body fat in just 6 months. And the best thing is, his results were so insane, he himself didn't even believe it was possible.
You think when you get older, which I am, 50 now, 51, and it feels like you can just say, oh no, I'm too old to train, but actually no, there's still life in you, do it, just go and do it.
Now, we didn't do what most people do to burn belly fat. That is drastically cut your calories, do a lot of cardio, and just basically ruin your metabolism. Instead, we implemented our 5-step metabolic priming method, and this helped Aidan literally get into the shape of his life at the age of 51. So I'm going to show you can do the same using these 5 simple steps. And if you are new here, welcome to the channel. My name is Aidan. I'm a full-time online health and fitness coach, and we help high performers over the age of 30 drop stubborn belly fat, get leaner, and maintain the results long term. So just a bit of background on Aidan. He's 51 years old, retired GAA athlete, would have played up until his 40s. And after he stopped playing, which is so common amongst athletes, he gained a bit of belly fat, okay? He just got to a point where he wasn't feeling confident with himself with his top off. And the final straw for him was he was on a recent holiday, and when he just came back, he didn't enjoy himself at all. That's when we essentially reached out, we scheduled a call, and that's when he joined our one-to-one coaching program. So the first thing we implemented with Aidan was our metabolic restoration phase. Aidan came to us metabolically unhealthy. He had too much body fat, he had too much visceral fat, and his cholesterol was at 7, okay? It was really, really high, and he wanted to change that. So a few things we changed with Aidan. First of all, we reduced or eliminated some of the hyper-palatable, high-processed foods he was consuming. He thought he was eating healthy, but he wasn't losing body fat. So we just cut or eliminated foods like duck and foods that are high in trans fat, like just takeaways and hyper-processed foods. Secondly, we reduced his alcohol intake. He was drinking alcohol a few times a month, and we limited this to 1 time a month max. And then finally, we replaced this with the 3 pillars of our metabolic priming diet. The first thing is eat mostly single ingredient whole foods at least 90% of the time. If you walk into the grocery store and you just shop the perimeters, you will just see mostly single ingredient whole foods. For example, an apple is an apple, a chicken fillet is a chicken fillet, a head of broccoli is just a head of broccoli. They've got no ingredients bar one, and if you eat mostly those foods, you will look, feel and perform good. Secondly, Aidan had a plant and a protein in every single meal. So Aidan was consuming about 160 to 180 grams of protein per day, and this was made easy by just having some go-to source of protein that are really, really easy to source. So for example, things like chicken, like turkey, like white fish, like salmon, like lean steak mince, like egg whites, like protein powders, protein yogurts. When you have a selection of these foods that have a good calorie to protein ratio, it makes hitting your protein target much, much easier. And then finally, just eating the right amount of calories for you and for your individual goals. The sweet number for Aidan we found was 2,200 calories a day. That was his daily calorie target. I would estimate before, and he was consuming anywhere up to 3,000. So we did put him in a caloric deficit, and the best thing was he lost an average 1 kilo a week. But most importantly, he didn't go to bed feeling hungry. He actually felt satiated, he felt full. And that is a really good sign that your metabolic restoration phase is fully intact and it's working. Now, with all that being said, the best way to boost your metabolism is by lifting weights and training consistently. So when Aidan came to us beforehand, he was doing things like HIIT workouts, like spinning classes, like boot camps, like group classes, but he just wasn't really seeing any results. He was also doing way too much cardio, even though his goal was to drop body fat while maintaining muscle mass. So what we did with Aidan was we got him trained like an athlete again. Most people make the mistake of just training like a bodybuilder, even though they want to be more functional, they want to be more fit. But we didn't just train him like a bodybuilder. We got him doing more functional exercise, but actually help him when he's older. So for example, we were doing compound lifts like the bench press, the squat and deadlift variations, but we were also doing some stability work like split squats, like core work, like side planks, along with some rotational work too, mobility work. That's why we always say there's a difference between looking fit and being fit. So for example, we all know the bodybuilder who looks jacked, but he's out of breath going up a flight of stairs. Aidan wanted to be functionally fit and metabolically healthy in his 50s, so that's why we incorporated some strength work, some power work, some cardio, and even conditioning. Did you find that transition out of like playing team sports, GA, to kind of doing on your own difficult?
I did, yeah, because it's just the crack with a team sport and stuff. And then, like, I used to make a burst every now and again to try and do a little bit in the gym, and I'd last for maybe a month, and then I'd give it up because of work. But this time I had a goal, and I just wanted to get to the end, and
This essentially allowed him to burn more calories at rest and make him feel like he's in his 30s again. But we knew he was making progress by pillar number 3, and that was data tracking. What you measure essentially gets managed. So for Aidan, every single morning he weighed himself in the scale, okay? This gave us a good feedback loop in terms of his average weekly weight. Also, Aidan, we didn't ask him to do this, but he took daily progress pictures. With our clients, we always asked him to do it once a week. He wanted to do it every single day. And then we tracked his lifts in the gym. Are they increasing or are they decreasing? For Aidan, he was building strength. He was able to do more chin-ups, able to do more pull-ups, okay? He was able to bench press more. And these are all surefire ways you're going in the right direction. And of course, there's no point training in the gym 4 times a week for 1 hour if you're not willing to log your food on MyFitnessPal for 5 minutes. So every single day, Aidan logged his food. This way we knew that he's eating the right amount of calories, the right amount of protein, and he was going in the right direction. The best thing was, if he ever did plateau, he had a weekly one-on-one call or a performance coach at Mac Lifestyle Fitness, and this allowed us to make adjustments, make some changes to make sure he was keep moving forward and he was going in the right direction. And by staying consistent, pillar number 4, body transformation was possible. Aidan went from 25 to sub 10% body fat in just 6 months, which is really, really solid. But we knew this was possible because Aidan was so consistent. Okay, he was not perfect. He was away on holidays. He had a few nights out. He had a few meals out here and there. But one thing he did not do is he did not quit. And by doing the first 2 pillars of metabolic restoration, really dialing in the nutrition, performance activation, following the training plan as best as possible, he was able to build his dream physique in just 6 months. And Aidan actually did a photo shoot at the age of 51. Now, when we had our first call, he had no intentions at all of doing a photo shoot. He just wanted to get a bit fitter, get a bit leaner. But that's why we always say progress is addictive. And when you see yourself in a way you haven't done before, your goal is, okay, well, if this makes me feel good, why would I want to stop? And for Aidan, was like, this was a new target for him, okay? When he had a goal to work towards and there's also a deadline attached for the photo shoot, that just gave him so much confidence to actually work towards something and give him a bit of purpose that he was lacking since his playing days. First ever photo shoot, how are you feeling, Aidan?
Yeah, feeling good. I enjoyed it very much, yeah. Nice to get it ticked off the box.
100%. When you initially joined, 7 or 8 months ago this day, would you ever thought you'd been doing a photo shoot a couple of months later?
No, I didn't. Originally the plan was 6 months, and then I just kind of fell into it then, kind of a bit of a challenge after the 6 months, so yeah.
100%. However, with all that being said, getting in shape is amazing, but staying in shape, that's even more important. Because the reality is, up to 92% of people who lose weight quickly, they become a statistic. They regain the weight within 1 to 3 years. So for Aidan having lost over 20 kilos of body fat, the final pillar of our coach is lifestyle integration, where we reverse and rebuild his metabolism. Because contrary to popular belief, there's a big difference between losing weight and retention weight management. So for Aidan, what we're doing is we're reversing his calories. He would have finished his cut at 1,800 calories for the photo shoot. He's now back up eating about 2,800 calories a day. But the best thing is, he still maintained his shape, he still maintained his condition while eating more food. Now, we didn't just go from 18 to 2,800 overnight. That's a surefire way to actually regain weight. What you need to do is slowly and systematically increase your calories over time. So for Aidan, we nudge up his calories by 100 to 150 per week. And then based on his weekly weight, based on his progress pictures, again, with a one-to-one coach, we were able to make some adjustments to make sure he kept moving forward and was going in the right direction. So with this entire journey with Aidan, what you do see the six-pack, you see the abs, but what you don't see is the person you become along the way. And just for Aidan, okay, he's got so much more confidence now. He feels so much better in his clothes. And also, he just feels much better about his future, about his longevity, okay? He was quite worried about his cholesterol. He was quite worried that he was going in the right direction. And now he's got more purpose again. He's feel driven again. And he loves his workout, okay? He loves his training. He loves his food. And when you actually enjoy doing something, when it doesn't feel like a chore, that's how you know you make a lifestyle change. And that's our ultimate goal at Mac Lifestyle Fitness. I can honestly say working out, going to the gym, it really changed my life. And the more people we can help do the same, essentially the more I know that we're doing our job at Mac Lifestyle Fitness. So if this sounds like something you are interested in, first of all, I'll post a link to our Metabolic Priming Diet in the show notes below, okay? Click that so you have a good idea of how to actually structure your food to get more whole foods, get more protein, and eat the right amount of calories. And if you want help with more with the customized one-to-one coaching program, you can just click the link in the description where you can just book a call with me or a member of my team, or just simply message me on Instagram, Adrian_Mac Lifestyle Fitness, and just message me YouTube Fitness, and then I'll know that you came from this YouTube video. But that's all for this week's video. I hope you found it helpful. We'll catch you in the next one.